Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to another Maestro game production. And if the big concrete block behind me hasn't given it away, there is a very helpfully placed team bus behind me. So as you can see, we are here in Zagreb, about to play Dynamo Zagreb, of course. But without further ado, let's head into the stadium. Okay, ladies and gents, it is kickoff time here in Zagreb for our second knockout round, second leg. Of course, we drew 0-0 in the previous leg, and our team is rather unchanged. So we have Jack Butland in goal, Reinwil, Katic, Pavlovic and Vigore at the back, Pearson and Palacios in central midfield, Diabate on the left-hand side, Diaz on the right, Gaetano in central attacking mid, and Brewster up front. Couple of little tweaks. Gaetano is going to play as a shadow striker today, and Pearson is going to be a Mazzala, because I didn't realise that Dragomir is actually a rather good Mazzala. So him and his backup now, Navarro, can both play that role. Speaking of Navarro, he's on our bench. Also on our bench is Pereira, Burke, Guimirez, Mahi, Ageria and Al-Zabi. But without further ado, let's go see what Carlos thinks. So Carlos thinks we should tell the team they're expected to prove a point. Indeed they are. Passionately. I know we're underdogs, but go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer for. They did travel, I don't know, over 1,000 miles. Wolverhampton Wanderers manager Marcelino has taken perhaps bold step. Well, Mijo Nikolic from the Croatian Football Free Press, an enthusiastic fellow who we don't really know. I don't really care about this particular story, so it's not really for me to say. Anything could have gone on behind the scenes to lead to that particular decision. So we are not going to get involved. It's not for us to get involved in matters in Wolverhampton, now is it? But Vigore taking the throwing. We are, of course, 9.5 minutes into today's game, and we are in a good position. Vigore whips one in. Oh, Diabate's shot is blocked. It's fallen to Palacios, though. Can Palacios do anything? Plays it to Gaetano. Back to Palacios. Palacios whips one in, but it's headed away. And it is Gojak now on the counter-attack. Gojak, not Bojack. And Kuj, and it's a lovely save by Butland. I didn't quite catch his full name, so Kuj. It's just Kuj. For now, Vasilj whips one in. Oh, it's Cully something. Gaetano now on the counter-attack. Tries to come down this right-hand side, but Adameni is not having any of it. And it looks like Atlanta has got off to a flying start against Braga. Currently 2-0 up. That puts them 4-3 on aggregate. Pavlovic from the goal kick plays it to Vigore. Vigore to Diaz. He does have Vigore making a lovely run, but he has been dispossessed by Gojak. And we have... it's going all the way back to the goalkeeper. Not sure what Dynamo's plan is here. Josipovic is going to try and walk it up the field, apparently, and gives it straight to Vigore. Vigore now coming down this right-hand side, gets past the left back. Can he get a good cross in, though? No, he plays it short to Palacios. Palacios back to Vigore. Now will he get a good cross in? No, he's playing it to Palacios once more, who plays it back to Vigore, insistent on that cross, which finally gets to Gaetano, but he heads it over and wide. What a shame. All of that for nothing. So, lads, demand a bit more. I know I'm pressuring you a little bit, but come on. We can win this. We did, of course, get a little unlucky. Their goalkeeper was a bit on fire in the home leg, and we could say we should have won that. But Vigore plays it to Palacios, back to Vigore to Palacios once more. Brewster, can he get a good header? No, it falls to Diabate, who heads it off the bar, but is unfortunately offside. Don't know why Diabate is straying offside, but it is half time. Dynamo 0, Hull City 0. They've had 5 shots, we've had 11. 2 on target, we've had 3. 0 fouls to our 2. 0 yellow cards to our 0. 32% possession to our 68. Their best performance has been Gojak, not Bojack, with his 6.9 100% tackle completion ratio. Vigore, with a 6.9 also, has had a 95% passing completion ratio for us. Struggling to perform, however, is Petkovic, with a 6.5 and 44% passing completion ratio. Struggling for us is Diaz. He's made 2 mistakes and has a 6.4 as a result. Latest scores, Anderlecht is currently 1-0 up against Sparta Moscow. That puts them 4-1 on aggregate. Atlanta is 3-0 against Braga. That puts them 4-3 on aggregate. We then have Feyenoord, who is 1-0 up against Estoril, putting them 2-1 on aggregate. So let's see what Carlos thinks. He thinks we should tell the team they're expected to prove a point. Not sure exactly what the point is, but they're expected to prove one. How have you rating-wise been doing? Not too bad. Diaz has been struggling. So we've been a better team. Yeah, better team. Keep doing what you're doing. Apart from maybe Pearson and Diaz. You two have been awful. So Navarro, come on for Pearson. I don't usually do substitutions this early, but with the way those two are performing, we are going to get them off the pitch. As is Diabate. I'm going to give Diabate a little bit more time, simply because I don't want to use all 3 substitutions on the half-time. Wouldn't be the smartest approach. But Vigore is here on the right-hand side. Can he get a lovely cross in? No, he kicks it at the defender. Not sure what he's trying there. But Dynamo are now trying to come down this left-hand side. Our right, of course. Sittum plays it across field to Petkovic. Adameni gets it out to their right-hand side. Can they get past Reinwald and Diabate? They've got past Diabate. Can they get past Reinwald? Lovely block by Reinwald, but it falls back to Petrovic, and it is back in the box. Lovely block, though, and we get away with that one. That was a little bit of nervousness, but we are going to demand a bit more. Everyone is focused up and motivated. Motivated in the case of Palacios, of all people. Atlanta is having a lovely time against Braga. They are currently 5-0 up. And we seem to be going to another draw at this rate. Hopefully we can nip a late goal, but it's not looking likely. And we are going to demand more once more. We are going to keep the demand mores up. We have 8 minutes remaining of the game. Gaetano whips in the corner. Palacios, can he do anything? He's got space. Navarro. You could have made yourself a hero. Palacios, though, edge of the area, plays it to Navarro, back to Palacios, to Mahi. Mahi back to Navarro. Navarro has a little bit of space. Plays it back to Palacios, to Mahi. Mahi has space on this right-hand side. Will he go down it and whip a cross in? He's down the wing, but can he get the cross away? No, it is another corner. And I don't know what we need to do to score. Gojak heads it away once more. Falls to Vigore, and that is the end of the highlight. We have another highlight there with Vigore, throwing it in at the halfway line to Gaetano, plays it back to Vigore once more, tries the crossfield ball, gets it to Navarro, but Navarro is dispossessed only for a while, wins it back and plays it to Reinwald. Can we go down this left-hand side now with Reinwald? Will he play it through to Diabate? No, he plays it inside to Palacios to Navarro. Back to Palacios, lovely through ball to Brewster. He has help, he's hit the post though. He's hit the frame of the blinking goal. How many times are we going to hit this woodwork? I get it, Diabate was offside, but still, we've got a habit of hitting this woodwork. So, it is Dynamo 0, Hull City 0. 6 shots to 24. They've had 3 on target, we've had 7. 4 fouls, they've had 5. We've had 5, sorry. 1 yellow card to 1 yellow card, 33% possession to our 67. Best performance has been Hervodge, 7.2 and 4 key tackles. Palacios has been our best performer, 9 rating and 122 passes completed. Struggling to perform is Hasevilge with a 6.4 and 10 passes completed. Diabate for us has a 6.3. Now the latest scores around the competition are Anderlecht is 1-0. They went through 4-1 on aggregate. Atlanta had a lovely time, getting 6 against Braga, and went through 7-3 on aggregate. We are, of course, 0-0, and Feyenoord won 2-1. That puts them 3-2 on aggregate and going through. So Anderlecht, Atlanta, and Feyenoord are all making it through to the next round. We are the only one, however, playing today, or at least playing in this group of games, yet to be determined. Carlos thinks we should tell the boys they did well and their efforts were excellent. Indeed. Assertively, I'm happy with the way things are going. Keep it up, lads. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Other than Diabate having a terrible time. No, we're doing the better team thing again. I am going to personally tell Diabate to pull his finger out his backside, though. Assertively, I'm not happy with your performance today. Apparently that makes him look happy. I don't know why he's happy about that, but you do you, Diabate. You do you. You be happy at the fact that I'm telling you I'm disappointed in you. Very strange response. Strange indeed. Probably happy by the fact that he knows I'm probably not going to substitute him, considering I have one sub left. But he is completely wrong, because I'm going to substitute him right now. Even though we have Gaetano and Mahi both on yellow cards. So, Egeria, how do you fancy coming and playing, my friend? Egeria, how about you do inside forward on that wing? In fact, would you be more comfortable on the right? No, you wouldn't. So we'll keep you on the left-hand side. Egeria can come on. Diabate didn't think we had enough people to come on the wings, but he was mistaken. We have Egeria, and he will be our Lord and Saviour. We are going to demand more, even though a few of the lads are calm and motivated. It has focused a couple more up in Mahi and Gaetano. We have Vigore with the ball now, though. He plays it up to Palacios. Palacios to Mahi. Still coming down this right-hand side. Mahi, you've got help. Play it to Vigore, please. Lovely ball over top to Brewster. Oh, he's at the... Again. The woodwork. Please, make the goal slightly bigger. Just cannons it off the bar. Katic. Katic now walking the ball up. Plays it to Reinwald. Reinwald, nice ball up to Egeria. Egeria cuts inside. No, he's going down the wing. Lovely play by Egeria. He does have help. He plays it inside to Navarro. Navarro to Palacios. Palacios, will he hold it up to Navarro? Yes, he does. Back to Palacios. Nice ball over to Egeria. He has help in Reinwald. He plays it to Reinwald. Reinwald coming down this left-hand side now. Cuts inside. Plays it to Navarro. Navarro back to Reinwald. Lovely space. Whip on in. No, he plays it to Navarro. Oh, Navarro, you could have been a hero, my friend. Unfortunately, it's a lovely save by Josipovic again. Palacios, though, to Gaetano. Back to Mahi. Mahi is having a bit of a back and forth with the Dynamo Zagreb player. Plays it back to Vigore. Vigore now plays it to Pavlovic. Pavlovic on the halfway line. Plays it to Vigore. Back to Pavlovic once more on the halfway line. Now to Palacios. Palacios tries the ball over the top. Egeria has space to get a nice cross in, but it is cleared by Dynamo. We currently have 8 seconds remaining of additional time. Reinwald with the throwing. Reinwald throws it into Gaetano. It is blocked and falls to Navarro. And that's the end of that. We have a penalty shootout. Hopefully this goes as well as the Tottenham one did. Fingers crossed. Everybody start praying, especially considering it's told me to confirm changes and we have Navarro chasing a ball without moving. Kind of impressive. Come on, Jackie. It's Jack Butland versus Petkovic. And Petkovic puts it away. Not a good start. Surely Rian Brewster, of all people, does not miss his penalty. No, Rian. Always had faith in you, my friend. Lovely placed shot. Now we have Kadzor. Come on, Jackie. Come on, Jackie. Oh, Jackie. They're all just going to go in that same corner, aren't they? Gaetano to step up. Gaetano, please prove why you moved your shadow striker. Yeah, nicely placed into the centre of the goal. Now, I'm not even going to attempt to say the Zagreb player's name here. Simply, we want Jack Butland to save it. No, he's going to slot it in the same place as Gaetano. Now we have Mahi. Mahi, I don't have a lot of faith in. So, Mahi, please prove me wrong. He has. Lovely penalty from Mahi. Looks like we've got a decent lot of penalty takers. But it is Go Jack Horseman. stepping up to take his shot, and it is a lovely goal by Gojak, not Bojack. Palacios, though, stepping up to try and equalise on penalties, and he's... Ay. Palacios, my friend. I'm going to be having words with you. Stern words. Stern words I possibly can't repeat on this episode. But Adameni stepping up, can Jackie Butland save us and keep us in this penalty shootout? Come on, Jack Butland. No. Well, we at least took them all the way to penalties, but it is Dynamo Zagreb who will be progressing. They had 7 shots, we had 31. 3 on target, we had 10. 8 fouls to our 9. 3 yellow cards to our 2. 31% possession to our 69. Behave yourselves. So, their best performer was Catherine, of all people, with a 7.6. Our best performance was... No, it wasn't. It's lying to us. Did it not watch this penalty shootout? Who was the guy who ruined the whole game for us? Palacios was apparently our best performer, with his 9 rating and 168 passes completed. Struggling to perform was Vasilj for them, 10 passes completed and 6.4 as a result. Diabate, of course, for us, 6.3 and an 8% crossing completion ratio. Not sure what he was playing at today. They had a milestone, and so did we. Pavlovic made his 75th career appearance. So that's good for him, I suppose. And the player of the match goes to the guy who went and ruined it for us. Great. That makes me feel so much better that he's been rewarded for missing his penalty. But Carlos thinks we should tell the boys that their efforts were excellent. Fine. Only based on the fact that the game called us underdogs. So we were underdogs out there and you gave it your best. Good effort, lads. Secretly, very bitter about that one. We are very bitter. But Hull defeat in Eurocup second knockout round. We did receive 987k though for that one. So not a bad bit of change. Upbeat Palacios will step up again. I might not let him. But Palacios on form for Hull. Klopp spotted, of course, because he's keeping an eye on Rian Brewster, the greatest youngster in the world, or at least in this game, because at the age of 21, he scored twice for England in 3 games, 5 times for the under-21s in 13 games, and in the past 3 seasons, 16 in 42, 23 in 34, and 37 in 29 so far this season. He is a dirty player to have, and if you get the chance to get a hold of him, please do, because he will help you a lot in your save. But without further ado, let's head to Arsenal. Okay, ladies and gents, so as you can see, we have arrived here at the Emirates, and I'm going to head down now to the locker room, meet up with the players before we head out to the pitch. So I will see you fine folks when we head out in just a second. Okay, ladies and gents, it is finally kick-off time here at the Emirates, and as you can see, we have quite a few players missing for today's game. So we have a couple of suspensions. I accidentally sent Guimarães on his international duty to play for the Brazilian under-20s, so we've got a bit of a problem in a few areas. So Jack Butland, of course, will be playing in goal. Vigore has swapped to the left-hand side because Reinwald is suspended. Guimarães is on international duty, as I previously mentioned. Now, Katic isn't in the greatest fitness, but unfortunately the only other alternative was to bring on Jacob Greaves. Not the greatest idea to bring on a youngster when we're about to play Arsenal in the FA Cup. We then have Berk alongside Katic and Kiko Firmino on the right-hand side to replace Vigore, who shifted to the left. We then have Navarro and Pearson in central midfield. Palacios, as you'll see, is on the bench, but unfortunately... Oh, no, sorry. Palacios is not on the bench because he was that tired. I decided I wasn't going to risk putting him as a substitution. So he's out because he's a little tired from the lengthy game we've just played. So we have Navarro and Pearson in central midfield. Diabate stays on the left-hand side, Diaz on the right, and Gaetano in the centre. And, of course, Brewster remains up front. So the midfield and defence, a little bit of a shift around. Up front, we're exactly the same team we was in the previous match. Our bench, however, consists of Pereira. Emerson is making his debut on the bench. We have Jacob Greaves, of course, Ellis, Mahi, Ajiria, and Alzabi. So without further ado, let's see what Carlos thinks. Carlos thinks we should tell the team they're expected to prove a point today. And again, I'm not sure what point they're expected to prove. Passionately, I know we are underdogs here, but go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer for. They listened keenly. I'm glad they are keen to listen. So, Dennis Larsson of goal. The devious fellow who we have a great respect for. Arsenal are unbeaten in 4 matches against Hull. Can you end that run here and now? I mean, this is the worst possible time to attempt to, but better to attempt it than not, I suppose. I don't like it and I'm desperate for it to end. We're going to give it everything we've got, even though we're missing like half a squad. But Carlos Figueiredo appears to have been handed a role that doesn't really suit him. I am confident he'll perform. I mean, he's natural, or at least acceptable on that side. I have the uttermost confidence in his ability. Your decision to drop Palacios has caused a bit of a stir. Why have you left him out? Because he's very tired. As you can see, he's got 79% overall condition. So he's just been rested. It's nothing more than that. Is Reece fit enough to last the full duration of this match? I hope so, because as we all know, I've only got a youngster to replace him. I've been told he's fit enough to play. If he's not, then tough luck, because that's all we've got to use at the moment. Since someone around here is an idiot and sent Guimaraes out on his international duty, playing for the Brazilian youths. I think this is a much more important game for him to be in. But Diaz going down this right-hand side, whips in Gaetano. You could have been a hero. You could have been the guy who does the unthinkable. But unfortunately you don't. And we are still 0-0, as is Fulham and Chelsea. In the Premier League, weirdly, I accidentally put it on Premier League. And we're the only FA Cup game. So yeah, let's switch it back to the Premier League, I guess. We shall see how the Premier League fixtures are getting on. But they are all focused up, apart from the goalkeeper. We have a throw-in, Kiko. Kiko throws it in, gives it straight to Arsenal with a throw-in, but it's headed to Pearson. Plays it to Navarro. Pearson back over to Kiko. Kiko has acres of space. Hopefully a better cross than throw. Brewster to Pearson. Oh, Pearson's at the post. And Gaetano. What was that? This whole episode is just going to be us hitting the woodwork. I can feel it. I can feel it in my fingers. I can feel it in my toes. But Saliba coming down this right-hand side for Arsenal. Which one in? Lacazette with the header, and it's going according to the script, as they would say. Arsenal finally getting the goal that was expected and exploiting that weak left-hand side. We are, of course, going to demand more. I know it's a lot to ask of the lads, but we can't exactly just roll over and give Arsenal the win now, can we? So, Katic plays it up to Diabate. Diabate comes inside, plays it to Gaetano, up to Brewster. Oh, is it the post again? I'm really tempted to do a counter for this episode of how many times we've hit the woodwork, because I'd be interested to see that. Gaetano to Figueiredo. Figueiredo whips one in. Diabate doesn't get onto it. Saliba gets it up to Lacazette. Lacazette now coming at the defence. Oh, Pearson, what are you doing? Pearson is making a bad situation worse. Gone and got himself sent off, sliding through the back of Lacazette. Unfortunately didn't injure him. That would have at least been a bit of a consolation, I suppose. But Gaetano has to drop back. Gaetano, not having a bad game, Unfortunately, however, we are probably going to have to take him off. Because how good are you as a playmaker? What? You'd prefer to be a Mazzala. Interesting. What happens if I swap you two around then? No need to waste substitution. We shall swap Gaetano and Navarro around. Hopefully that will pull a better performance out of Navarro, because he is currently having an awful time too. But it is Arsenal 1-0 going into half time. They've had 13 shots, we've had 6. 7 on target, we've had 1. 0 yellow cards apiece. 46% possession for Arsenal and 54% possession for us. Saliba has been their best performer with 7.4 and 90% passing completion ratio. Weirdly, our best performer has been Jack Butland. 4 saves held and a 6.8 as a result. Otavio has been their struggling performer with a 6.4 and Vigore a 6.5 and 3 mistakes. So Vigore definitely struggling on that left hand side. Unfortunately, we don't really have a choice other than to have him over there. We can't really do much than sympathise. No, I do not want to give sympathy to the lads. We're down a man, let's go get a result though. You can do it. Have a bit of a positive mental attitude, my friends. Positive mental attitude. We're only 1-0 down. We've weirdly got more possession than Arsenal, even though we've got one less man. Let's go get a win. Kiko to Navarro. Kiko back on the ball now. Just need a lovely cross. Navarro. Brewster. Oh, it's a lovely save, though, by Franca. Franca collects it and rolls it out to Martinez. Martinez to Xhaka. Xhaka coming up now. Plays it to Fisher. Fisher coming inside. Will Fisher go alone? He does, and it is into the crowd. Lovely shot by Fisher, at least from our perspective. Xhaka though to Tellis. Tellis is coming down this left-hand side for Arsenal. He's bombing it down and he's got past Kiko. He's got plenty of space, and will he do anything with it? Plays it to Otavio, and Otavio has gone and got his 10th goal of the season. So much for being the struggling performer. They are not struggling in any sense. So the best form of action, I think, from our perspective is who can we get off and rest? Who can we rest at this point? Because let's be honest, we are not coming back into this fixture. So, you know what? No, that's definitely not what I meant to do. Diabate, get in between them. Diaz, go up front. Now, Diaz, what would you like to be? You can be a false 9. Let's mix it up. We'll have a false 9. You can stay as our Mazzala. Ageria. Right, what do you want to do, Ageria? You can be our playmaker. Why not? We then shall have Jacob coming on. The youngster shall sit a bit deeper, and he shall be our anchorman. Let's do a bit of experimentation whilst we have this bit of an issue with our players. Emerson can come on, and that is our triple substitution. Now let's go attacking as well, because that might help considering we are 2-0 down. We're going to demand more, and we are going to go attacking. Let's try and fight our way back in this game for the last 30 minutes or so. But Saliba throws it in, and Saliba's got it back, whips one into Lacazette, doesn't get to him though. Fisher collects the ball and plays it to Tellis on the edge of the area, whips one across, and it is wide by Nelson. And again, we have been let down by the frame of the goal today. The possession has been creeping up for Arsenal though in the second half. Of course, 10 men versus 11, you would expect that. Katic plays it back to Butland. Butland is wasting time when he really shouldn't, and plays it up to Burke. Burke, nice ball over the top. No one gets on the end of it though, and Willock has got it for Arsenal. Plays it to Tellis to Xhaka. Nelson now on this left-hand side. He has Tellis in support if he needs. Plays it to Otavio. Otavio to Tellis. Tellis, can he get a good cross in, or will he give the ball away? No, he plays it short to Nelson. Nelson to Xhaka, and you can't give him that space on the edge of the area. Granit Xhaka with his 4th goal of the season, assisted by Reece Nelson. And yeah, this game has gone to the dumps. So, Burke with the free kick. Can we at least get 1 goal just to make us feel a little better about ourselves? Jacob Greaves drives the ball across to Vigore, gives it to Pepe though. Pepe just walked through the defence. Oh, Burke, please. Berkey. Penalty for Arsenal, and it looks like we're about to go 4-0 down. Come on, Butland. Oh, lovely save by Jack Butland. We've at least got the fact they didn't score from the penalty. We've got that little consolation for ourselves, I suppose. But a goal. We want a goal. Come on, lads. Just get us 1 little goal. No hitting the frame of the goal, which we seem to have done all episode. Just slot 1 in the net. You aim for the net, not the wood. But we can't, unfortunately, get a goal. So it's Arsenal 3, Hull City 0. 35 shots to our 8. 21 to our 2. 3 fouls to our 18. 1 yellow card to our 3. 47% possession to our 53. Granit Xhaka has been their best performer, with an 8.7 and a 95% passing completion ratio. Our best performer conceded 3 goals, but Jack Butland also saved 3 and held on to 11 of them. 7.5 rating. I'm pretty sure I said save 3. Saved 11 and held on to them. Anyways, Fisher struggled to perform for them, and Pearson struggled to perform for us. 6.3 and 6.5 respectively. Fisher, of course, had a 47% passing completion ratio. Now, there is quite a few milestones to go through for this game, so feel free to go through them as you wish. I have noticed, though, Lacazette has ended his recent goal drought, having previously gone 666 minutes. Very interesting number, considering how our luck has been in today's episode. But Carlos thinks we should tell the boys their efforts were excellent. Don't know if he was watching the same Jacob Greaves or Ageria or the likes of Diaz, Brewster. Yeah, there's quite a few players here who they didn't have any effort as far as I'm concerned. I'm far from pleased. You look stressed. You had an awful game. I don't know why you look stressed. I could deal with it if he wasn't one of the terrible performers who's looking stressed. But he is. Pearson banned for 1 match. And we have the option to appeal. We're not going to appeal, that's for sure. And we have the normal fines. So I guess fine him half a week's wage. Accepts his fine, of course, because it is written in the code of conduct. We're not trying to go above and beyond the code of conduct. But in the next episode, we shall be hopping over the Liverpool game. I think we've had enough of the punishment of watching us play the big boys. We are going to go play against Bournemouth and Fulham. And then, if the fixtures don't change, I will perhaps do Manchester United West Ham, or maybe we'll just skip to the end of the season, play Aston Villa Norwich, and then the following week we can get on with our transfers. But I thank you all for watching today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed our pain and misery of hitting the woodwork, and I hope you all have a great night. Goodbye.